It's been described as a bastard act. The Emergency Services Minister was responding to news that a devastating fire, which started at the Busby's flat in the state's north, is likely the work of arsonists. That blaze has destroyed 15 homes. Last night, a fire that had been burning for weeks at Drake flared up, destroying 6 homes. It then merged with the blaze at Busby's flat, creating a fire front stretching more than 60 kilometres. The village of Rappville was one of the worst hit, and that's where reporter Mark Reddie begins our coverage.
A lifetime of memories reduced to rubble. This family lost everything. All that's left is their car, and the loss is just starting to sink in.
The winds picked up and we started seeing a lot of smoke, and there it was, right on our doorstep.
Tina Hagg and Robert Collier are now homeless, along with their 4 children. Their property was among several destroyed in the small town of Rappville.
Bit shocking, you don't realise it until it happens to you what it's like.
The fire threat has eased, but investigators are now worried about asbestos and falling power lines. The school survived and helped provide shelter for many residents. The town hall was gutted, but the pub is still standing.
A significant impact on a local community, a small community, a tight-knit community.
When the emergency hit, people quickly realised how dangerous things had become. Brett Lashinko was among those in the thick of it.
It was really bad. I thought I was going to die. I messaged me mum saying I love you and all that.
We saved the mill, everything else got burnt, all the power poles gone, everything's gone. Fencing, cattle.
Tackling the flames from the air simply wasn't an option.
Flying in those conditions was very dangerous, smoke was appalling. So unfortunately we had several hours where the fire ran on its own.
Further south, a fire burned through the night near Jikadjeri. It's taken out 1,100 hectares of land, all in a region already hit by multiple earlier fires after months of persistent dry.
We're seeing fire behaviour that I would experience is not normal.
And the Rappville fire may have been deliberately lit.
The drought has meant that it really is a bastard act if you're going to put your own community at risk.
An elderly couple who lived here narrowly escaped the fire after their concerned daughter tweeted the Rural Fire Service from Newcastle. Firefighters then rescued them from this shed but were unable to save their property. West of Rappville at Ewinga, Alan Highfield had some damage on his property, but his home was spared.
It is like waves of fire and smoke. And yeah, it's frightening, absolutely frightening.
Local charities are reaching out to those worst affected.
Whatever we can do, we will. We've got a great community here and everyone's willing to chip in and just offer a lending hand. So, yeah, just no one's alone.
A sentiment this community will be holding on to. Mark Reddie, ABC News, Rappville.
And Mark Reddie is back with us from the RFS Command Centre in Casino. Mark, what help is being offered to affected residents?
Well, Gemma, those affected by the bushfire are now eligible for emergency assistance from tomorrow. That includes a cash payment of $1,000 and temporary accommodation. So what they need to do is register their details at evacuation centres at either Woodburn Memorial Hall or St Mary's College here in Casino. As for long-term assistance, well, that's currently being discussed by the state and federal governments.
And how long will it be before people can return home?
Well, it could be several days before residents are able to return home to what's left of their properties. What we know is that fire investigators are assessing the damage, and what they're up against is asbestos fears. There's no mobile phone reception, there are fallen power lines and blocked roads. But the biggest concern really is energy. There is simply no power to the town of Rappville, which has a population of 250 people. So tonight, many of them are sleeping at friends' homes or their families' homes, or here at evacuation centres down the road. So it still could be some time before things start to somewhat return to normal. Gemma?
Mark Reddie at Casino.